Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Excuse my voice. I still have a bit of a cold, but the factory must grow. We can't let something like that stop us. So let's keep working on this thing. Today I'm going to be building the refinery. So I've chosen this section here as the location. It's fairly close to the oil and water depot. And I think red circuits are going to be somewhere around here. So hopefully this will be a good location for it to be in terms of where the outputs have to go. And I reserved the space next to it as well because in Alexi's base he has, in his refineries, he actually has 4 parallel factories instead of 8. So when he unloads, for example, he has each 2 cars unloading into the same tanks. And I asked him why he chose to do that. And he said that it was basically just because of space, that he didn't have enough room to get 8 across. And since he had already built 4, he decided just to leave it that way. So he has 3 grid sections that are 4 across each. So I decided to keep 2 sections open so that we can try, if we need to build it twice as wide, we can try to do that. Otherwise, we could just do, 2 copies of the same thing. I don't know. We'll see how the build works out. But in any case, I've already got the oil and water here, and let's get started. For the intermediate production goals that we have now, the Factorio planner says that we need 13.4 refineries, but since we need a multiple of 8, I've rounded that up to 16. So I'm going to have 2 refineries for each of these sections, and we'll build from there. Now the outputs of the refinery will be lubricant. They'll be fluid products only. So the outputs will be lubricant, light oil, and petroleum gas. And then the light oil, of course, will be used for making solid fuel. And is it used in rocket fuel as well now? Yeah, and rocket fuel. Well, I mean, the solid fuel is going to be used to make the rocket fuel. So as far as I know right now, all the light oil will go out for making the rocket fuel, and then the petroleum, of course, will be used for making plastic, sulfuric acid, blue circuits. It's used in a number of recipes. Those are the main ones that I can think of right now. And then the electric engines will be using the lubricant. All right, so we'll have 3 output stations, but I'm gonna wait until we build this up before I start to place those because I'm not sure exactly where they need to go yet. Okay, so over here I decided to use substations for electricity just because I have 3 rows of pumps that I need to power up, or 4 rows actually. 1 in and 1 out for each of the tanks, and I was able to do it with a single substation in between these 2 stations rather than having several rows of medium power poles. So, okay, so as usual, I'm going to mark out the middle of the grid so that we can have things lined up fairly neatly. And I will start, I suppose, with, let's see, start with this one or this one? I think I'll start with this one. Okay. And we're going to try to keep these columns as narrow as we can. We're going to need 1, 2. And then I'll leave another space. So I think that's probably about as close to the center as I can put the first one. All right, so we'll have oil and water. And we need to leave at least one space in between. Otherwise, the fluids on the output side will interfere with one another. And then on the output side, since I'm not using beacons yet, I can build it like that. If we were using beacons, the beacon could be no further than this, and in that case you have to pipe, you know, in this case the petroleum would have to be piped to outside the row of beacons. But since we're not using beacons yet, I'll construct it like this. Now once we have beacons and speed modules, I'm going to have to pretty much rebuild everything. But that's okay, because we'll just be rebuilding things one section at a time. Okay, and we'll throw in some lights. Okay, so those are my two refineries. So, let's see here. Maybe we should set up at least the first of the output stations so that we know what our starting point is on this end, and then we can work our way backwards. So I'm looking for one to copy. I think this would be the one to copy, right? Since I've got several stations off of this one. Well, do I have, yeah, I've got the stacker already. So let me, I think I'll copy this as my starting point. Let me see if I can find one that doesn't have another junction on the rail already. And yeah, I can copy this one. All right. So I'll copy all that. And then I'm going to edit it. I'm going to take out all the inserters. I'll leave the power poles, I suppose. I'll take out the splitters, take out the chest, take out the belts. Okay, and that should leave me, yeah, with a bare bones receiving station. With power and lights. Yeah, with this cold or whatever I have here, sometimes my voice cracks. I hope I'm not actually getting a train here. All right, I'm just going to clear. I'll just clear that for now. Okay, yeah, there's no schema assigned to it, so I don't think any trains should be on the way. To train station Ethleron. Yeah, and actually this is going to be a provider station anyway, so I should remove that. Remove the station. And we'll replace that with a regular one because this is going to be a loading station, so it won't be it won't be either a provider or a supply station as far as TSM is concerned. Oh, that's ugly. Can't have that. That's better. Okay, and then the other stations we'll pull off of that vertical line like we did before. And we can copy the return side from here. Right, something like that. Except we're not going to take that stuff. Okay, and I'll remove all this for now because I don't know where the other two stations are going to go. Okay, so the last station I think will be the let's see here. All right. This one I think will have to be the petroleum gas. Four. All right, so we'll have I think I can well, I just want to copy the position of the tanks. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that'll be for petroleum loading. And I think I'll have the light oil in the middle and the lubricant at the top. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to pump the outputs all the way down there. All right, well, let's at least get this part of it hooked up. I can stop the oil pipe right there. The outputs don't need an underground on that side. The water I will have continue down so that we can use that for cracking and so on. So let's at least get our 8 copies of this stuff. Okay. Well, looks like I can put them that close without any trouble, right? So that's 2, 3, and 4. Now here I'm not going to have a width problem because I don't have beacons in between or all around these factories. So, so right now it really won't be any problem for me to build 8 across. But once we add beacons and things, then it will most likely become more of a problem. And we're going to need to put power poles in between these things as well. So we'll work first on getting the refineries all plumbed up, and then we can start to work on the other products. Okay, and yeah, I guess I'll put that other power pole right here next to the heavy oil. Okay. So, I'll start in the middle and work my way out. So this tank is going to go to this refinery. We've got the water there. Actually, let me try to make this a little bit easier. Looks like I already need to get more underground pipes. Okay, so water's hooked up there. That would be too close. Yeah. I guess we'll just do undergrounds there. Having an underground there wouldn't save us any space. And I have Squeak Through, so mobility is not a problem. Okay, those are both operating. That's great. And then I suppose I can copy this. Do I want to copy this? No, I don't want to copy that to all of them. I'll just do these one at a time. It'll have to wait. Okay. So like I said, starting from the middle and working our way out. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, let me do that temporarily. Okay, so this water, this is going to get messy pretty fast. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should form these junctions as close as I can to the oil rather than close to the tanks. That might be better. Right, get the pipes as far away as possible. All right. Okay. Let's try that over here. Okay, that's number 2. So I can't make the turn here, so it has to be there. Okay. All right, now it's getting a little easier. Anytime I can skip at least one tile, I'll use undergrounds just as a standard practice. And then here we have to use an underground, otherwise we would run into this pipe. All right, I need to craft more of these. Ooh, we got another oil train already. Whoops. I guess the inactivity doesn't really matter right now. Okay, so that was 5. Now we need to do the other side. Okay, and that oil comes... All right, well, that was convenient. At least one of these lined up. Let's do the water first. Okay, and the oil. Yeah, and again, I have to use an underground there, just so we don't come into contact with that pipe. All right, and last one. Beautiful. Okay, and I need to go back to the base for more pipes. But at least we've got our 8 refineries running, or 16 refineries rather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the heavy oil, starting with the heavy oil, we'll turn it to lubricant and have that go into tanks. Whatever heavy oil doesn't get used there will get cracked into light oil. All the light oil will go into tanks to be picked up. And then whatever excess light oil we have after that will crack into petroleum. So that's why I have the petroleum loading station as the last step in the chain. And then the other 2 items will be, so it'll be petroleum, and then light oil, and then lubricant in that order. Okay, I've got more pipes. Yeah, I should really get as many as possible. I'm going to need a lot of it. All right, I've got a lot of iron plate too, so I can always make more on site. All right. Guess we'll go back to the same place we were. Let's check on our fuel supply down here. All right. Our little control circuit is still working properly, it seems. Nice. We're not using much power. I think we will once we start doing more research. Then we should be able to get the whole factory running. Okay, so let's start with the lubricant. So I'll just run a pipe there. I'll run the water because we need to continue the water line. Although we're not going to use it for the lubricant, obviously. All right, but one each. Making lubricant should be more than enough. And I'll put the output right there. Okay, and then we're going to need to continue piping the other stuff. All right, so let's copy that. All right, and then we can run that. I suppose I don't need to be leaving quite so much space here. Why don't we see how close we can get the train? That's the closest we could get it. That's going to be a little bit too close, right? I mean, theoretically, we could put the tank right there. Yeah, that would work, right? Let's do that. Then we don't even have to pipe it out. I can just hook these tanks up directly, like that. And this might be like enough lubricant to last us for the rest of the game. I really don't need this much lubricant right now. Yeah, this will affect the location of my station, of course. The station location. Let me make sure that I'm not going too far to the right. Oh no, I should be fine. All right, so let's bring this rail up. Whoopsie. All right. So output pump goes there, and then the rail must go there. Oops. I hope this doesn't run into my stacker. It looks like it'll be clear. It might be close. Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect. Plenty of room. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's put it right there. Okay, fluid equals lubricant, load. Okay, and let's add the pump. Uh-oh. I'm dumb. Okay. Well, it was a good idea in theory, but my build doesn't precisely line up to where my tankers are going to be, unfortunately. So we'll have to try this a different way. I guess we'll need to pipe it into tanks rather than have it go directly from the chemical plants. That's unfortunate. Actually, let me keep that so I can just copy the station name when I'm ready. Okay, so let's try this again. So we'll go out. So we need to go out and down from each of these. Right, and then we'll figure out the minimum distance that I need to get everything piped into the tanks properly. And I do have fluid loading over here, so I can copy these setups. Right, like that. That autosave just always seems to kick in at the worst possible moment. Okay. So this is... Okay. Well, let's try like somewhere around here. I want to get this as close to lined up as I can to the center. I'm one tile off, as you can see there, if you look at where the lights are. But that's mostly in the middle. Okay. I think that'll give me enough room to run all my pipes. Let's try it. Okay, so this one goes into this tank. That's actually quite simple. Okay, this one will go into there. I'm going to have to move those pipes around. All right, and then this one goes in there. Okay, that one works out nicely. Let me do this. Yeah, because I do need to continue the heavy oil. And the light oil. What else could I do? Well, I could do this. Okay, that works. And then here I could do this. right. I think that should all be okay. I would like these power poles to be next to the light. Since I don't have pumps on the other side of these tanks, I don't need to move the power poles up another tile. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. All that has to be moved over by one tile. Or does it? No, it doesn't. The power poles do. I think everything else will be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, there we go. Okay, great. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. So we've got that taken care of. We just need to get the power brought down. Huh. Yeah, so you can see the pumps all have some lubricant. So the pumps themselves will hold 200 units, and they pulled out the 100 that was sitting in the tanks as soon as I gave them power. That was interesting. Yeah. Okay, and I'll put a signal back here. Okay. So we got the lubricant done. And now the rest of the heavy oil we are going to crack into light. All right, so we have to get the heavy oil brought down. And I'm just going to do these one at a time to make sure that everything fits properly. Having the pumps be two tiles long actually is pretty convenient in this case. Gives it just enough room to get a pipe in. Okay, so here, can we do this? Oh, okay, well, no matter. We can just move them all by one tile. Okay, yeah. Okay. And then we're going to need water as well. All right, so this will be heavy to light. Right, and the heavy oil is going to stop here. Ugh. Yeah, this is going to make the water... Well, maybe the water doesn't have to be ugly. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we can pipe the water over that way instead. I'm not sure if that water's hookup is going to work in every case here. We'll see. Well, it should. Okay, yeah, great. All right, so this one will have to be a little bit different. As well as this one. Okay. All right. Okay, so that takes care of all the heavy oil. And then the light oil will come out. And then this should feed into tanks. And then we'll join up this light oil as well to the same tanks. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this. Or actually, let's copy all that. I'm going to eliminate all the pipes in the chemical factories. And those power poles. And this will be the unloading station for light oil. Or the loading station for light oil. Okay. There. I'll put those signals back there. That way, as soon as the train clears back there, then the rest of this rail will be free. And then we'll need, actually these signals can be up there. All right, now let's connect this to power. Okay. Now, in this case, maybe what we can do is, well, let's see here. So I've got light oil pipes here. So let me just bring these down like that, and then we'll figure out how to combine this pipe with the pipe coming out of the chemical factory. Okay. All right, and again, I'll start from the middle and work my way out. Okay, well, that's very nice. There we go. That's better. Right, so I think I can copy. I think I can copy that part everywhere, right? Well, not quite. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that one's going there. This one. Can go in there. That one goes in there. Actually, I can bring this down just a little bit further. Okay, so there's those four. Okay, that one works there. Yeah, these should all mostly work. Okay. Light oil is ready. Now we need to take care of petroleum. Okay, let me craft some more undergrounds. And I think we'll have to continue this in the next episode. I'm just wondering if how to get the light oil to cracking. Because I only want to crack the light oil when these tanks are full, I think. Yeah, I think that would be the right way to go. So let me put pumps on these things. Whoops. Just one pump, I think. And again, I'm just doing all these one at a time rather than copying with bots, just because I want to make sure that all my pipe connections are okay. Because tracing and fixing pipe connections when they're not correct can be a real pain. All right. Although, just as I say that, let's try it. Right. Okay. Yeah, that works. That works. That works. That works. That doesn't work. But we'll get started. That one. All right. That one works. And that one works. Okay. All right, so now we got to start wiring these things up, which could be a little complicated because we need to find independent pathways to each of these pumps from their individual tanks. So like here, for example, I can use a green wire on this one. Right, so those two don't mix. Here, oops. Yeah, here I can use a red wire. Here I can use a red wire. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. Okay, and then we'll tell these pumps to turn on when light oil is greater than or equal to 25,000. Okay, so that way those pumps will only turn on when these tanks are full. So the priority will be to fill the light oil tanks for export. And then once that's taken care of, then the rest of the light oil can go down to be cracked into petroleum. All right, and then we have to fix this pipe Okay, and I need to craft more pipes. All right. So this one is actually I want to fix this pipe. That should be right there, right? Yeah. And then this one, we just need another underground. Okay, so that's all very consistent. All right, now on the cracking to petroleum, the planner says we need 13.3 chemical plants. So in this case, I'm going to have to round that up to 16. Okay, I do have enough. All right, so let's get that set up. And I wonder how we can best manage the water. Actually, I wonder if I could do something like this. Will that make it easier or harder? I think that'll make it easier. Well, maybe it won't. Let's just do it this way. Okay. So I'll just run the output pipe like that. Input pipe like that. There we go. Okay. That works. All right. And then the next challenge will be to connect the rest of the petroleum output to that pipe. And for that, I'm going to need a lot more undergrounds. I should go back to home base. Okay, but until then, I can copy this. Well, that stinks. This is going to mix the water between them. How can I avoid that? All right, I'm going to remove that pipe so I can place this one. try to brainstorm something to prevent these water pipes from mixing from one side to the other. What if I... What if I did this? Would that help? Yeah, that ought to fix it, right? Yeah, that seems to work. Somehow I didn't get that pipe. What do I need? 10 more undergrounds. Okay. Okay, I think I got everything. I don't see any more. I don't see any more ghosts. Okay, so now I think we can build the petroleum output station. I'll give it a little extra space because I still need to join in the petroleum gas pipes from up above as well. Okay, and I know that we're already, we're already over an hour. But we are really close to finishing this. So let's just keep moving. Let's just get it done. I don't think it'll take too much longer. I do need to go back and get more pipe. And I need more engines to craft more pumps. But we're almost done with this refinery. And I would hate to break it up into another episode where I spend 10 minutes finishing this and then start working on something completely different. Once this is done, I think the next step will be the plastic factory. And then we should be able to do red circuits. And we'll also need to do, what do we need for blue signs? Sulfur as well, right? And I think sulfur and sulfuric acid will be made in the same factory. Or maybe I make sulfur in the blue science factory. No, I think making sulfur and sulfuric acid in the same factory makes the most sense. All right, let me grab some engines so I can craft more pumps. 50 is the perfect quantity. And I should really set up production here of red and green signal wires. I'll do that later. You don't need to watch me do that. Do I have tanks? Yeah, I have 10 tanks. That's slightly more than enough. All right, let's go park. Yeah, I'll just park right here. Why not? There's not much traffic yet for me to block. All right, and then here, again, I'll put that signal there. I'll put another one here. And then, no, I don't want one there, because that'll mess up the chain signals down here at the end of the stacker. Yeah, no, it needs to stay like that. Oh, there's my petroleum output. Well, let's just leave it up there. Why not? We can strip all of this. Don't need that power pole. I'm going to keep that just so I can copy it up there. Well, yeah. Let's take it out. Okay. And then we'll redo this part. Okay, so we need a chain there. I'll put chains there. And we should probably put one up there too. Yeah, that should be fine. And I think that needs to be a chain signal. Actually, I don't even think we need that. We don't need that signal at all. Okay. And then I'm just using normal rail signals here because I don't care if a train comes down here and blocks this junction, you know, while this train exits or whatever. You know, on the exit side, it's not that important. I think I can get rid of this. All right, and then this is going to be petroleum gas load. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the one that brings power. All right, so now I need to get the rest of the petroleum brought down. And I immediately have a problem. Okay, well, no matter. Let's do this. Okay, and I can copy that in each one of these. And we'll just do our best to get it to work. One, two, three, four. Okay, so we have that one. Let's start here. Okay. And then here. Wonderful. And then this one. So far, so good. Okay. That's wonderful. Okay, this one is going to be more complicated. Okay. And this one is going to be really complicated. Perhaps even impossible. Can I bring it up this way? Yeah. All right. Okay, one more. All right, and this one looks like it'll be clear. There we go. Okay. All right, now we can join them all together down here. Across the bottom, and then we just have to route these to the tanks, which should be pretty easy. Okay, there's tank 1. Whoops, yeah. Tank 2. Tank 3. Tank 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay. Now this whole thing should be running. All right. So 16 refineries in action. Lubricant slowly being made. Maybe I need to put pump control on the heavy oil cracking as well. Yeah, none of this is going to work until that's full. And I suspect my petroleum gas might fill up before any of that happens. All right. Yeah, I think I need to put output controls on the heavy oil. Or do I? Maybe I don't. I don't know. Probably I do. One, two. Right, so we can, I mean, that'll be pretty easy to incorporate the pumps, actually. Because we can do it just like that. Yeah. Crap. Okay. All right, and then I'll just hook those. We've gone a long time already, so I'll hook those pumps up to the lubricant tanks so that they won't turn on unless lubricant tanks are full. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Well, do I want to wait until lubricant tanks are full? Yeah, because this should be enough to consume all the heavy oil that's coming out of here. So if I do that, it shouldn't block anything. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it as always. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.